Hello everyone, Denise from Connectarium. Thank you for being here. Pleasure to have you around. Here to talk to you today about the week of November 9th until November 15th. This is the week of the waning moon, the week of the month for us to empty ourselves and be prepared for the new cycle, the new moon cycle, which will happen November 15th in the sign of Scorpio. This is the Scorpio season, by the way. This is the month where the sun is going through the sign of Scorpio. So the sun is light, clarity. When it goes through a sign, so throughout the year, it goes 1 month per each sign. It illuminates, it gives light, shines over those aspects of those signs. In Scorpio, the invitation is for us to go deep, to see our shadows. All signs are very important. So with Scorpio, we need to see the totality, to see ourselves as a whole. Scorpio does not see surface, it goes deep dive. So that's the first invitation of the season, for us to see what's really truth. It's about deep transformation, which we are all going through in the year of 2020. We are all very familiar with deep transformations, especially this month. So this waning moon happened in the sign of Leo. The moon was in the sign of Leo when it enters the waning moon. First is a kind of we start the waning week, the waning moon week, with some reflections in the sky that I always invite you to think of how you can use those reflections in a creative and co-creative way, that you build your life and all the time be conscious that you are building it, right? So the astrological insights are just one aspect that you can benefit from. With the waning moon in Leo and the sun in Scorpio, we have first a kind of a discussion in the sky. The moon in Leo wants to vibrate, wants to create. It's all about the creation, self-confidence. And the sun in Scorpio is saying, okay, but what exactly do you need to eliminate to move on with your life? So that's the first reflection the first challenge, let's say, between the creation and self-confidence and what we have to eliminate. We have some important astrological facts throughout the week that I would like to highlight with you. We start and finish the week with some relationship questions in the aspects in the sky. On Monday, we have Venus, which is the relationship, rules relationships, is in the sign of Libra. It's sign of rulership, very powerful in the sign of Libra, inviting us to see others, to see how others think, to put the balance, to balance life and balance relationships. It's facing an opposition with Mars, our actions, our way of acting, which is in the sign of Aries, kind of in a challenge, because the relationships in Libra, it's an invitation for harmony, for us to see others' point of view. And Mars in Aries is saying, okay, but what's in there for me, right? How much I'm donating, how much I'm getting back. So it's kind of this challenge that we start the week with. We have Mercury going back to Scorpio. Mercury, our mind, communication, the way we talk, the way we think, our intellect. It was retrograde a couple of weeks ago, around that, and on the 3rd of November it left. It became direct. The day of the elections, it became direct. So when it was in Libra, was an invitation for us to think and to elaborate about relationships. Now back to Scorpio, it's an invitation back to the depth and to the shadows and to deep transformation. We have another very important aspect this week that I would like to highlight. We have throughout the year Jupiter meeting Pluto throughout the year, 3 meetings, let's say. And this week is going to happen the third and last meeting between those two giants in the sky. So whatever, we are going through a big transformation collectively, as we well know, but I also think each of us are going through a deep transformation in our own lives. So those two meeting again this week is kind of an invitation for us to really squeeze all the transformation we need to do. And why that is so important, I know maybe you are probably sick of transformations or going through a lot of stuff by now, but they meeting together in the sky right now is calling us. They're calling us to really think, how are you expanding the way you transform yourself? And how you're transforming the way you expand yourself? How can you be bigger? How can you amplify your point of view? And why that is so important right now? Because in December, we're going to have a big change in the sky. The same Jupiter is now meeting Saturn in December. And whatever transformation we are really dealing with right now, really going deep, is going to have a chance to be structured in December. But it's structured in a more innovative way. Because now we have a very density in the sky with many planets in the earth element, which gives this, it's a heavy dealing with a structure, which is important. I'm not saying it's not important. We tend to reject all this restructuring and all this depth and all this density, but it is important. It is important that we clear all the field, all the floor, for us to build and structure something new in December. And if you are kind of hopeless or really, not believing that anything can change by now, believe me, in December, from December on, we're going to experience different aspects, different energy. And it's so important that although we are tired of these deep transformations, that we take this opportunity now, and especially under the Scorpio season, to really squeeze. Sometimes we're doing this juice, right, with fruits, for example, and you think you have squeezed everything. But try again. Try to really go deep and clear up, eliminate what doesn't work anymore. Trying to understand what doesn't work on you. When I'm saying this elimination, I'm inviting ourselves always to go within, to look at us, not others. That the problem is outside of us, because it's not. And it's so usually comfortable to blame others. But I invite you to go deep and think on this co-creation aspect of using astrology to co-create your future. What needs to be eliminated in you, right? In others, it's easy to blame others, to think of others, but what do you have to do to have the life you want to have, right? And now, this is an interesting sky to do that. Although it has been so demanding throughout the year, now this depth and this conjunction this week is another invitation for us to really clear it up so we can benefit from December, right? So 21st of December, Jupiter and Saturn are going to meet together at 0 degree of Aquarius, a completely different energy, an energy of collaboration, innovation. Remember, every sign and planet has its bright and shadow. We always need to see everything as a whole, right? So it's all two sides of the same coin. So on the bright side of Aquarius, we have a collaborative, technological, everybody counts. Aquarius is a lot inclusive of the different, so all different tribes can work together. At the same time, we need to be careful of maybe be too individualistic, so too technological, in a way that we kind of miss out on touching, on being together with people. We're going to talk a lot about that, a lot to come of Aquarius in the decade of the 20s, right? We're just starting the decade. I know it's a kind of a tough start, but it's going to get better and better. Especially this density will go away. So take a chance with this conjunction to really go deep in whatever transformation you're going through in your life. It's not in vain, right? It has a purpose for us to really create new structure, to be standing in a new base, right? So we talked about Mercury. We talked about this conjunction, which is very important. And I would like to talk about Mars, our action, our way of acting, of defending ourselves, of energy, action. So it was retrograde. It's going to go direct on the 13th of November. It's another important tip from the sky that it's a time of action, of time of us being able to put our projects into flow. During the retrograde season, we are invited to rethink the way we act. And now with Mars in the sign of Aries, in the sign of rulership, very strong, we have the two sides of the coin again. On the harmonic side, we can have more fluid action, put our things to work, be brave, be a leader of our lives. On the disharmonic side, we need to be careful with our instincts, with our anger, how we place that into the world. And we can choose. That's the beauty. You can choose how you can vibrate. Take this Mars going direct again, more fruition in life, more, we have more energy to put things to work. With this big conjunction saying, you really deep dive into the transformation you're going through. Don't be scared to see what's really underneath, what's really true, right? What is the truth behind everything you're going through? Let's face it. This Scorpio season is saying, let's face the shadow. The shadow is being illuminated. We're putting light into the shadow. So you can be prepared for December, prepared for the new season, which is going to be Sagittarius, a lot about optimism, about being spontaneous, of being enthusiastic. But first we need to do our homework, right? And we need, I always repeat this, we need the 12 energies. All of them, all of us are important, and we have a mission. So let's take advantage of this Scorpio season, get the help of our Scorpion friends that have this ability to transform in depth and help us get through December and do the change and renovation we need to do with our lives and with the world. Okay, so one aspect that is important with this conjunction this week, of course, talking about power changing hands. This conjunction of Pluto and Jupiter throughout the year is talking a lot about power structure, reorganizing society, power changing hands, right? Not only in the US as we saw, but it's likely that we see power changing hands more and more from now on. So I wish you all the best. I wish you take this information in a positive way in your life. I thank you for being here with me. I'd love to see and hear your feedbacks. And if you think it's interesting, you can share. I will be delighted if you shared. And I see you around. Okay, take care. Have a lovely week. Take care. Bye.